Dozens of blood pressure medications used by millions of Americans have been recalled over the past several months. The FDA said the drugs contained a cancer-causing impurity.
But what these recalls have uncovered underscores what some experts describe as a shocking hidden secret. Tonight, the News 4 Investigates team talks to experts who dish out a dose of reality about the growing dependence on overseas processing facilities. Luke Moretti reports.
Millions of Americans are taking medicines made with active ingredients produced in overseas facilities and don't know it.
It's an incredible, untold story.
And the dependence on countries like China and India for our medicine is growing.
This is a wake-up call.
We're talking about medicines, primarily generics, we have in our homes and hospitals.
Antidepressants, birth control pills, medicines for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, epilepsy. Who knew?
A lot of people just don't even think about that.
Why would you? You go to the doctor, get a prescription, and wait to get better. But some health experts say China's growing global dominance of pharmaceutical drugs should be cause for concern.
We have to fix it, and we have to fix it fast.
Rosemary Gibson is the co-author of China RX, exposing the risks of America's dependence on China for medicine. She argues that not only is the U.S. losing control over the supply of its medicines, but she's convinced there's a loss of control over the quality.
China's the big one, and the dependence on China is growing.
That's right. China is a dominant global supplier of thousands of ingredients.
Ingredients, Gibson says, that give medicines their therapeutic value.
I didn't intend to write a book on this subject. I just fell into it and discovered and said, oh my God, nobody knows this.
According to a Government Accountability Office study released in 2017, globalization has complicated FDA's oversight of drugs marketed in the United States. FDA reports that more than 40% of finished drugs and 80% of active pharmaceutical ingredients are produced overseas.
There seems to be different rules for different countries.
Dr. Thomas Russo is a professor of medicine at the Jacobs School of Medicine at the University of Buffalo.
I think we need to be aware of where our drugs are coming from. And I think the best solution for this is probably to increase our regulatory oversight and give the FDA the needed resources.
Inspections of overseas drug manufacturing plants can be a bit of a challenge. The Food and Drug Administration typically announces ahead of time when inspectors are coming. In one case, a plant in India notified the FDA that factory workers and staff have gone on strike. The FDA canceled the pre-announced inspection, but later learned those claims were false. When inspectors finally got access, the inspection was performed in the dark, with the inspector using a flashlight because the lights were off. In another case involving a firm in Japan, employees were directed to stand shoulder to shoulder, barring an FDA inspector from accessing portions of a laboratory and equipment used to analyze drugs for U.S. distribution. During an inspection in China, the FDA found that equipment cleaning procedures were inadequate. The inspector observed visible residue, white particulate matter, a red-colored metallic particle.
Difficult balancing act in terms of getting products that are, affordable and at the same time of the same quality and have been evaluated so that you have confidence in them being efficacious.
Generic medicines account for 90% of retail prescriptions in the U.S. market, according to the FDA. With that comes a global expansion in supply chains. Congressman Brian Higgins, who sits on the powerful House Ways and Means Committee, is concerned.
It's incumbent upon Congress to exercise its oversight responsibility and to get the Food and Drug Administration to more aggressively monitor that activity by actually going into these plants and confirming what's being done.
The FDA declined an interview with News 4 Investigates, but cited a February statement from the agency's commissioner. Our rigorous standards and inspections apply equally to generic and brand drugs, whether the medicines are being manufactured in India or Indiana. The FDA is maintaining global vigilance by concentrating inspections on higher-risk facilities.
No one else is doing what we're doing.
Valisure is a company trying to make a difference in today's complex pharmaceutical industry. The newly launched Connecticut-based online pharmacy chemically analyzes every single batch of every medication before it's shipped out to patients.
We're the pharmacy that checks.
David Light, the CEO and founder of Valisure, tells News 4 investigates that so far about 10% of the batches analyzed have been rejected for one reason or another.
We screen out those that fail, and those that pass, those are the batches that we then ship out direct to consumers. And it comes also with a certificate of analysis, very much like nutritional information.
I got to believe that the average person in this country has no idea that maybe the medication that they're taking was manufactured in China.
There's no reason that people should know. There's no reason that doctors should know because they haven't been told. This is a huge hidden secret.
We have an obligation, Congress and the Food and Drug Administration, to ensure that these drugs are not only safe, but they're also effective.
Now, last year, the FDA inspected only 1 in 5 registered human drug manufacturing facilities abroad, according to agency data. The issue of overseas drug manufacturing now appears to be on the radar of federal lawmakers. Rosemary Gibson says she's scheduled to testify at hearings this summer. Luke Moretti, News 4.